for someone very set in their ways. For example, a hitting coach committed to teaching hands to the ball. What's the first thing you would want to show them or teach them to help them break their current belief patterns? Well, first thing I would do is I'd get a video of their swing and I'd put it next to Manny or Barry or Albert or Ted or Mickey or Mike, somebody, and say, these are the best hitters in the world. This is what they did. It doesn't mean you can do something else, but why not do what the best did? It seems to me that if you do what the best hitters in the world did, you'd have the chance of being the best you can be. So if they are a hands to the ball guy, the first thing that's going to jump off the video to them is they have to shift weight first before they can do that. And then I'm going to explain to them why this weight shift is a big deal. We have to, first of all, I'm talking about when you're playing really challenging baseball, whether it's upper level high school or college or pro, where you're really facing pitching that's at least velocity. Maybe they're not the best pitchers in the world yet, but there's velocity that you got to catch up to and off speed that you got to hold for. Okay? So the ability to stay grounded is critical. If the guy's challenging you with his velocity and you're going to move forward like this before you swing, number one, you're reducing the distance that he's throwing the ball. And if it's really challenging velocity, that's a deal. But number two, you're going to pass through limbo. Here I'm on my back leg, there I'm on my front leg, back leg, front leg, in between is limbo. There's going to be a period of time when you're not grounded, or not sufficiently grounded enough to swing with some force. So if you have to shift weight before you can swing, you're always going to be in limbo. You're always going to go through limbo, I should say. And what are you going to do if you're in limbo and the ball's on you to the point where you have to swing? You can't. You have to put your foot down and then swing. You're going to get beat. You got to rush. You got to break down what you're supposed to do. You got to totally give up whatever you're supposed to do and panic and take a rushed emergency swing. So the coach with the hands, teaching hands to the ball, you can't do that without shifting your weight. Your player will always be in a compromised position, especially when he faces better pitching. The opposite of that, the good of that is, if I'm always grounded on this leg, the rear leg, and I swing from the rear leg, I will always be grounded the moment I need to be grounded. The moment my mind says swing, I will always be grounded. I won't have this problem, this limbo problem. I can be instant and sudden every time I swing the bat if I swing from my back leg. And that's exactly what you have to do in the pro game, in the Major League Baseball. Holy cow, everybody's throwing 100 now. If they're not throwing 100, they're throwing almost 100 with great late movement. How are you going to respond to that late movement when you're in limbo? How are you going to respond to 100 when you're in limbo? You can't do it. What I teach, the whole crux of what I teach, is launch quickness. Your ability to snap the bat, snap your body, snap the bat, get the barrel into the zone as quick as possible. You can't do that when you're passing through limbo. You're going to be in a position, now, sometimes you can. Sometimes you just happen to be, your body gets there on time and you hit a ball. You hit it good, you might hit it out of the park. Okay? It's not how far you hit them. It's how often you hit them far. And you're not going to hit them very often if you have to pass through limbo every time you swing the bat. So, knob to the ball requires a weight shift before swinging, which means you have to always go through limbo, which means you're always often in a compromised position. Good question.